This episode of Lore Drop is brought to you by Dustin Cross. Dustin, I'll make that trip up to Seattle soon.
Hold on. Wait a damn minute.
Oh.
You'll watch Love Island,
Yeah.
but you refuse to watch a slice of life or romance anime?
Love Island just gave us the greatest slow burn romance you'll ever see. Where it's like, because Brinity all the way, okay? Freaking.
Did they win?
Yeah, they did. I was like, Bryce and Trinity, that was like, I was like, oh, we're actually watching two people fall in love. This might look bad in the future if they break up.
Yeah.
But it was like, but no. It's like genuinely, it was like, because they're like, oh, like, there's an attraction, but like, you know, like we're still like really open to seeing other people and exploring stuff. And then it was like, she was like, ooh, I'm kind of just getting more of a friendship thing. And that made him be like, oh, I got to turn it up and show her that like I am really interested in her. And then from there, I was like, they're really starting to buy into each other. And right then, they get split apart because Casa Amor opens up and he goes to one place and she stays at the other, and they introduce a whole bunch of new people. And it's like, oh no, are they going to like find someone else? And no, instead, they both on camera cried for the other one, like while they were separated from each other.
Aww.
And that's how you knew it was real love. But I will
Nice.
never watch that.
Hello, welcome to the Lore Drop, a Reinvent podcast. I'm Abby, the executive director of Reinvent Productions.
I'm Ben, the creative and artistic director.
And our third party member today is our friend.
Andrew, and I'm the guy.
Yeah. I was trying to come up with something clever to say about you just because we've had you on the pod several times and you probably are the one that listens to the podcast most, except when you're on it.
Yeah,
but
never will.
I cannot come up with something clever. It is too outside and my brain melted. So here we are. It'll be a good record. Yeah, it's end of July. It's gross outside.
Yeah.
But we persist.
Yeah.
But today we're going to also talk about a horrible thing, which is Cole Johnson.
Calling him a thing is wild.
Which is unfortunate that he does not have an end date. I'm kind of bummed out about that. But we're going to be talking about this guy today. But before we get into this little ball of sunshine, we're got to decide the most important part of the episode, which is what animated trio the three of us are. Nobody thought about it.
Nope.
I was using my brain a lot this morning. You look at video games.
Could do like Mario, Luigi, and Princess Peach.
Wait. Actually, wait. No. This is great. This actually works out perfectly because
Okay.
Andrew's girly pop and Ben is an honorary lesbian. So this can
Yeah.
work. The
Okay.
three major princesses of the Mario franchise, Peach, Daisy, and Rosalina.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Ben has to be Daisy.
Yeah.
And I would really like to be Rosalina because she's tall.
And you don't get that often. Yeah.
No. she's magical and she has a cool hair.
I'm not going to lie. I know nothing about Daisy or Rosalina. The only thing I know with Rosalina is that anytime I play a Mario game with her in it, I'm like, oh, it's Rosalina. And I don't know why, but that's just like...
That's really funny.
That's really great. I went and watched Oliver Jr. today that Youth Artist Guild Lubbock is performing this weekend. There's one kid that rolls his R's for every single line, and it's awesome. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but perfect. Okay, great. Peach, Daisy, and Rosalina.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've tried to stall us long enough.
Hee
Now we get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
Then, can you tell us about Cole Johnson?
Yep. So, Cole Johnson is the CEO of Gemstone Industries.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's a human man. He's born in 1970, lives up to the present. And Cole Johnson has the Cobalt Power Ring, which this ring makes him immune to any form of psychic attack or mental manipulation of any kind. That is the only real power that it gives him. So no reading his mind, no influencing, no becoming charmed or anything like that.
Yeah. Get Droy.
Yeah, he's
Hey, no
Oh,
words.
I mean, get fricked. Yeah. Might be. I think that's the first time I've slipped up.
That's really funny. Notable allies of Cole Johnson include Sarah Johnson, Roy Smith, Donovan Blake, Mason Stone, and King Festus Remington. And notable adversaries include Richard Briggs, White Frost, Timothy Ilyashina, Danford Holland, and Leazra Van Riel.
I'm already just like straight up not having a good time.
Yep.
This episode.
Cole Johnson's first real-world appearance was in the Cataclysm campaign in 2016. After the party were captured, Cole Johnson offered them a position within Gemstone Industries, which they refused. They didn't like outright refuse to him to his face, because then White Frost showed up, and so they they gave Andrew Blood the message to pass back on of no, except it was much more strongly worded.
Go frick yourself.
Get super fudged.
But to go back chronologically, and we're going to have a lot of like crossover points with the Gemstone Industries episode in today's. But for Cole Johnson's origin stuff, we go back to 1986 at the grand old age of 16 years old. After the death of his mother, Cole is the primary person responsible for raising his younger sister, Sarah. He feels particularly neglected by their father, Connor Johnson, who was the current CEO of Gemstone Industries. Cole develops a resentment for Dustria City as a whole, seeing as it is the primary reason his father is not as involved in his life. Around 1995 is when we get some new management for Gemstone Industries, when Cole and Sarah get into an argument with their father when he refuses to retire from his position as CEO of Gemstone Industries after receiving a dementia diagnosis.
Well.
And Connor's like, nope, I'm gonna keep being CEO. And the argument escalates and results in Sarah killing their father.
Oh. I don't think I knew that.
So, nope, you did not.
That's crazy.
It's my first time saying that out loud, which is great. So after that, the pair of siblings cover their tracks.
We messed up.
Yep, and Cole is then made the new CEO of Gemstone Industries. And Andrew, you had your hand raised for a second.
So I feel like we glazed over that a little quickly. What happened? Why it was like what escalation happened that she's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah,
and how did that happen?
Sarah Johnson has never been particularly well adjusted.
Okay.
She is exceedingly violent.
Okay.
And keeping in mind as well, at this point, she is a good old 15 years old.
Hey, we've all been there at 15.
So yeah.
Right?
Have we all been there?
Oh. No, I was just playing.
She is, and this is like this. At some point, eventually, I do want to get into Sarah Johnson stuff in her own episode. But like, she is the younger sister and of the pair of them, and so it's like, oh, Cole is the one who is clearly like being trained up to become the next CEO and everything. But also, again, Sarah has some of that residual resentment towards their father for not really being that involved in their life up to this point too, and that's all she's known from a parental figure. Because, her mom died when she was 6. So, yeah, Sarah has some pretty rough circumstances growing up. And so she just goes, is like, all right, cool. I'm going to kill him. And does.
Damn.
How does... What is... okay, there's a lot to process.
Uh-huh.
How does Cole react to this?
Sarah!
Not quite that. I mean, his reaction is a lot of like, oh, wow, that was... A, that was crazy. B, we gotta like make it look like it wasn't a murder. And then C, I need to get my sister some therapy.
That's insane. Well, okay, hey, you know what? Action steps.
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
Yeah. It's some crazy stuff. And so that's the kind of brother-sister dynamic they have there of like, cool. All right, you're going to do some horrible things. I'm going to cover it up and make sure you don't go to jail for it.
Ride or die, I guess.
Ride or die siblings, truly.
And how old is Cole at this point?
He is 25 at this point.
Okay. So there's a 10-year difference.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so around, like we said, at that point in 1995, yeah, he becomes CEO of Gemstone Industries and then begins making some machinations going on. So we jump forward to 2010, at a point called Only the Beginning, and Cole meets and commissions Alexander Wright, a well-renowned scientist in Dustria City. He asks Alexander, whose husband had recently died, if he would create the power rings. The idea that the promise of these rings being able to bring peace and security to the people of Dustria City. And with like, hey, if we can create something better than the police and everything, that we can actually prevent the tragedies like what happened to your husband and what happened to my dad. And he doesn't share the fact that, Sarah is the reason his dad is dead. But in Cole's mind, the tragedy is that his dad wasn't present for them. That is what he would be referencing. Is like, no, my dad was taken away from us because the city demanded so much of him.
I can see those mental gymnastics.
Yeah. The Alexander agrees, and then they begin their little journey towards creating the power rings. One significant step in that is in 2012, in a deal with Rondor. Cole has a happenstance meeting with Festus Remington, then King of Rondor, and arranges a deal to receive regular shipments of Rondorium in return for giving Rondor knowledge and technology from the outside world. And so they have that going on for a while. And the next big thing for Cole Johnson specifically is in 2015 with the sabotage of the Minerva Institute, a rival company, if you will, that their work is all in like renewable energy and stuff like that. So Cole sends a corporate spy to work for the Minerva Institute, and he asks that spy to sabotage the polymerization reactor before it can be put fully online. And that series of events leads to the creation of the Order of Heroes as well. And so you'll find that Cole Johnson is quite often the like start point where things like happen or go wrong. Especially in pre-Cataclysm things.
Sounds like he's a go-getter.
Yeah.
Someone you can really look up to. Yeah.
Yeah. And so now we're in the Cataclysm part of the timeline. In 2016, again, in the Welcome to Dustria City arc, his main thing is offering the party, which is Severca, Navita, and Reaper at this point, a position in Gemstone Industries, which they later refuse. And he says, cool, that's fine. It was a courtesy thing anyway. I didn't really need you. So in the Council of Three arc, Cole orchestrates a meeting between the Council of Three, Gemstone Industries, and the DCPD to pitch court spots as a supplementary force for the DCPD. Cole also arranges for the assassination of 2 out of 3 members of the Council of Three and the subsequent kidnapping of the surviving member, Roy Smith. Afterwards, Cole sends some of his like top people as well as some court spots to go find Roy Smith, not telling the public that he knows exactly where Roy Smith is. And so Cole, afterwards, after Roy Smith is retrieved, Cole pays the bounty hunters that were involved in this operation to betray the bandits' trade union and attack their HQ after they find Roy. And so really he's like, cool, the bandits are the last like loose thread tying me to this whole situation. Get rid of them. And so after all that sort of situation and the following elections to replace those 2 members of the Council of Three, Roy Smith and the Council of Three approved the motion to supplement the DCPD with court spots from Gemstone Industries. One of the other things as well is that while Roy Smith was here in captivity and being kidnapped, before they sort of revealed that, hey, we found him, Cole had a nice private little one-on-one meeting with Roy Smith to say, hey, here's my plan for the city, and you can either agree to it or we will kill you and we'll just start this all over again. How's that sound, buddy? And Roy Smith, being a relatively timid member of the Council of Three and a relatively new politician as well, was pretty easily like, okay, yeah, I would love to stay alive. And so part of that deal was that Cole Johnson then gave Roy Smith the Sapphire Power Ring, the one that gives Roy the power of persuasion over other people, which, like Andrew said earlier, Cole is very conveniently immune to.
And then Roy Smith, like he started out as like a timid guy, and then he became the worst.
Oh yeah.
Well, I feel like that makes sense.
Yeah, that kind of power where you say something and someone is like has to do it against their will. That is a very corrupting power.
Yeah, there's no way you don't become the worst with that.
Yeah.
So can I ask, what was it about Roy? Like, why did they feel like Roy was the right person to? Was it because he's just like a timid, controllable?
Yeah, yeah. It's because of his personality. They were like, we need the one of these 3 who can most easily be influenced, and strong armed into working for us, basically. Because like the other 2, one of them was like a career politician in Dustria City. And so it was like he knew his way around blackmail basically. And the other one, his wife is a captain in the DCPD. They're like, he's not gonna, no. And so they're like, all right, Roy, it is, because he's a new guy. It was just sort of like we've said before, the Council of Three election process is like a district volunteering thing of they're like, no, we think he's the best. Yeah. And so Roy, it's not a he runs for it thing. They just decided him, and he's like, oh, okay, I guess.
That's crazy.
So the next thing with Cole Johnson is starting up the process of activating the Emerald Ring in 2016. So Cole gives Andrew Blood the orders to figure out how to activate the Emerald Power Ring, because for whatever reason, this one doesn't work like the rest. It won't stay on a person. And so he tasks Andrew with figuring out how to activate it, as that Emerald Ring is the last step needed to complete his plan to take control completely of Dustria City. And the next time we see Cole Johnson is in the Tournament of Champions arc in 2017. It's quite a while until we see him again. Cole participates in the Tournament of Champions, representing Caius, the Thunderforged Monarch of Knowledge, and Cole participates in the Tournament of Knowledge here. And he actually makes it to the semifinal round of this tournament before being eliminated. He's a pretty smart guy. Yep.
He deserves nothing good.
Nope.
Who did he lose to?
It was another, I think it was Elizabeth. Was the
'cause-
person he lost to. Because she's the one who wins that tournament.
Good. He lost to a woman. Good.
Yes.
I don't know why that's important. He's obviously a feminist if he's protecting his younger sister. I don't think he has a problem with women.
But the fun thing with that as well is that one of the first stages is like when all the champions are like dropped on the island and they have to make their way towards the center. The champions of each Thunderforge are sort of like paired off randomly with other ones. So I think it's in groups of 4 that they have to make their way towards the center. And Cole is paired with Severka, Saoirse, and Navita. And so they have to guide the big bad to the center.
I mean, they didn't have to guide.
Yeah, but it was like in that moment they're like, okay, we're not gonna like go out of our way to save you, but just don't talk because we hate you. It was a very funny session at the table.
So very quiet.
Yeah. So the next thing that we get from Cole is the zombie attack that happens in 2018, in which a horde of zombies is being sort of shipped to Dustria City from these necromancers who one of their friends was killed a couple years prior. That necromancer is the one. Go listen to the Wendy Rhodes episode to find out about that. So these guys are friends of Hans, and they send genuinely pirate ships full of zombies to Dustria City to sort of have this like zombie horde attack the city. And so Cole, seeing this coming on and being like, that's not good. I'm sure the court spots can handle it, but they're still like the police own them right now. And seeing that he needs to bolster some PR stuff for Gemstone Industries, is like, hey, pitches an agreement to work alongside the DCPD and the Bastions to fight off these zombies and protect Dustria City. And so again, especially after the Tournament of Champions, getting that like combo of like the heroes and the vigilantes with the villains so far to fight a greater threat.
I think he's turning a new leaf, guys.
Yeah. So the next thing we get from him is the Emerald Conspiracy arc. After receiving the fully activated Emerald Power Ring, Cole Johnson then initiates the Emerald Protocol, which causes the portion of the DCPD that secretly works for Gemstone Industries to attack the loyal DCPD officers. And in the wake of that, as well, the ones that work for Gemstone also have the court spots as their backup. And so he is able to sort of use this and spin this in the news as, oh gosh, the DCPD just sort of imploded on itself all of a sudden, and the court spots were the only ones keeping order. And with that is able to sort of like drive the DCPD just into non-existence at that point, and able to fully take over like the court spots as the law enforcement unit of Dustria City. And then afterwards, with this activated Emerald Power Ring, discovers the secret to this thing, because it still isn't staying on anyone's finger that they put it on. So he's like, that's so weird. Okay, well, I guess the only thing left to do is, I guess this is an idea from Sarah Johnson. She's like, have you tried a dead person yet? And he's like, no, why would I think of that?
She's like, I can provide you one, or 5 if you need.
And so at this point, what they do is they do have a recently provided dead body that they came back with when they activated the Emerald Ring, which is the body of Screech. And they slip the ring on, and it latches on, and Screech sort of like shambles back up as this sort of like husk of a person. And so they find out that the Emerald Power Ring can only work like by putting it on a dead person, and it brings them back to life as this sort of like husk and shell of themselves. And so with that as well, the Emerald Power Ring is one that it like accelerates the aging of something that the ring bearer like chooses as a target, or like puts in, or is put in contact with. With that, they essentially use Screech as this sort of like final weapon of sorts. Of like, cool, something's in our way. All right, let's send him in and just absolutely demolish it. Because all it takes, it's very like Shigaraki in My Hero. Just like, cool, boom, touch, and it's crumbling.
Yeah. Was Andrew Blood happy that his old pal was back?
He didn't know.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yep. That's the thing. So what they do is that they're like, that's Cole Johnson and Sarah Johnson are the only ones who know about that. And they keep that under wraps. They say, "Hey, this is the Emerald King," is what they refer to him as, and they sort of impose him as this new, like, in the grand scheme of things, because he can't be like, "Oh, the CEO is the new, mayor executive of Dustria City." No, so they're like, "Cool, King." This guy is now the one actually in charge when it is still, in fact, Cole Johnson. So they keep his like real identity a secret, and Andrew doesn't find that out for a very long time. After that, and we get into the sort of after Cataclysm stuff, we've already transitioned into here kind of. But yeah, once again, court spots by the end of 2018 have completely replaced the DCPD and are being mass produced as law enforcement stuff, and also shipped out to other countries that ask for them. So now we get into Cole Johnson's stuff before Dynamite, and we jump up to 2021, at which point Cole learns about a fun little company called Project Alpha. And he sends
he says these sound like really smart.
He sends one of his most trusted employees and also his sister's therapist, Josephine Mercier, to negotiate an acquisition of Project Alpha for them to now be sort of a company parented by Gemstone Industries, which succeeds. And so Gemstone then acquires Project Alpha in that process. And then we jump.
There's no HIPAA violation with that of having your sister's therapist go do business deals for you? Or...
No. It's not a why would that be a HIPAA violation?
I mean,
she doesn't tell them anything about Sarah Johnson's medical history.
We'll make this deal, but first I have to tell you about my patient.
A conflict of interest, absolutely.
That's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. That's the first thing that came to mind. I couldn't think of the word. Yeah, big conflict of interest is happening. Okay, whatever, it's fine.
He's like, hey, she's the most level-headed individual I can think of, so
she can handle my sister.
And so a few years later in 2024. Cole Johnson renegotiates a deal with King Festus. And so as part of this, Cole then begins sending court spots to Rondor as a supplementary security force for the Knights of Rondor. And they are receiving even more Rondorium at this point now to help with the production of the court spots, because the plating on the court spots is made from Rondorium. Yeah. Which is what makes them so sturdy.
Thank God all these good guys are coming together to make the world a better place.
Exactly. Yeah. The next thing, and this is the one thing that Cole Johnson does during the Dynamite campaign in 2026 is surrender to the aliens.
What?
So when the alien invasion begins, Cole meets with one of the generals of the Dravik forces, Zarius Ariadbol, and he negotiates a neutrality agreement between Dravik and Dustria City. And so Dravik is allowed to establish a base in Dustria City, and Gemstone will not interfere with their efforts so long as Dravik also doesn't interfere with them.
That's crazy. I for sure was like, well, Cole Johnson's definitely going to be like, ooh, I'll help the Earth, and then like I'll be a hero for us. Like,
no, he was a loser.
He sucks.
Nope. He's the type at this point as well, because he's like, his goal was to get full control over Dustria City and mold it to how he wanted it to, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, cool, I've shaped it into what I want it to be. The stand is gone now. There's complete control. There's still a little bit of crime, right? Because we need a little bit of tension in the city. Is the way he thinks about it. And so he's like, cool, aliens? That's not part of the plan. I have to get ahead of this as fast as I can. Yeah. And right now, the manpower I have, I don't think my court spots can stand up to these guys. And my ring bearers are sort of like, they're kind of etchy, right? Because at this point, like they're not really like great on teamwork like they used to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that is the most recent thing that Cole Johnson has done. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I would say kind of like a gray figure overall. Some good, some bad, but
you say gray as I'm coloring in his suit with a gray. I mean, like, the only other thing that he's done is, even though he's not directly involved in it, is telling Roy Smith and Andrew Blood to go renegotiate with Aurora.
I mean, that's part of Andrew's job. Like, it's before it was just him doing a favor because he was buddies with Festus, He was like, I don't think this new queen would be into me reaching out, so Andrew, it's your job anyway, so go.
I mean, not wrong.
Yeah.
So I assume that Cole Johnson is still around by the time like Percy starts doing her stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I didn't even think about that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What does he think of the little vigilante?
Yeah.
He sees the news.
He's one that he's like, you know what? I consider this an absolute win. Is how he thinks. Again, he's like Andrew, stay on top of it because that's your job. So he's like, if she gets out of hand, you gotta get rid of her.
He's like, I don't kill kids.
Right. But he's like, so long as she doesn't get in our way, fine.
Yeah.
Because again, she's a teenager, and as far as he's aware, her only power is telekinesis.
Yeah.
And so he's like, whatever.
Honestly, like, and I can kind of see it as like heroes used to exist with Industrial City, that if it was like, a teenager is probably going to screw stuff up at some point. So then you could be like, see, this is why we don't do this. Is why we trust the court spots. Exactly.
And Percy's like, I just almost got murdered by a court spot. What are you talking about?
Should have registered. That's crazy.
Team Iron Man. Yeah.
Okay, so here's a question. So villains, we love developing them. They're fun. I joke about this fact, it's like I hate Cole Johnson. It's a wonderful character. Like I really enjoy the character that you've built for this. Andrew, you're in the middle of building a villain.
I am. Yes.
What makes a villain fun to write?
I would say that I think just discovering their motivations, right? Because I think that, there's people talk about that, like villains should think that they're the heroes. And I think that it's fun to have villains that are just like, F it, I'm just gonna like do whatever I want because it's fun, But also, I think that they're like villains that just like figuring out why they are doing the things that they do. Like I have so many questions about Cole Johnson in terms of us like, what is his, like, why is he like making these deals? What is he like in molding Industrial City? What is he like hoping to accomplish with that? What is he hoping to accomplish with protecting like his sister? Is it just a familial bond, or is it like also a certain degree of like, well, it wouldn't be good press for my sister to be shown as like not great person.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love I think like villains are always some of the most fascinating characters to to see in media, because like that they're kind of the driving force of the story, So if you don't have a good villain, it's probably going to be a mediocre story overall.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think for Cole as well, again, like the very core like value that he holds is, it genuinely is family above everything else. Yeah. Right? Because it's like, especially growing up, like his mom was a good mother is the thing, right? And it's just that
he would have been like 16 whenever.
Yeah. And so it's like, but she died and dad was not around. He was doing work instead. And so like that, growing up in that sort of environment is like, cool. I'm going to do everything to protect my family. And that includes like getting rid of any variables or any threats that are possible. So to do that, I need absolute total control.
Does he want to have did he want to have like a family of his own? You didn't mention kids, so I assume he doesn't have any.
He doesn't have a kid, but Sarah has a kid later on, and that sort of extends that sort of protective thing that he's got going on. Yeah. But like that's the other one, is like he is so always constantly keeping tabs on like anything that could potentially be a threat to him, his sister, and his plans.
Yeah.
Is he a fun uncle though?
No.
Some might even call them Funkle.
See, because Andrew Blood's a fun uncle to
the
Remington
triplets.
kid.
Yeah. And Aurora loves it, right?
Yeah.
Aurora loves.
Cole Johnson, because his niece's name is Miranda. Cole's the kind of uncle that like anytime he's around Miranda, she knows that she's going to learn something. And it's not like in a weird like a weird way. She's like, oh, okay, you just have stories and information and knowledge always.
He's just yapping.
It's like they could sit there in silence for a while and it's not uncomfortable, and then he'll just suddenly bring something up that's like, oh
yeah. He'll be like, have I ever told you about the ship of Theseus?
That's crazy. She's like, what?
So what is the perception of Cole Johnson to the rest of the world? Like, what do they think of what he's doing in Industrial
Yeah.
City.
To the common people, he's just another billionaire of like, yeah, of course he's sketchy. Like he's a billionaire, you know?
Yeah.
And he owns this company that, you know, outside of Industrial City and even in Industrial City, they're like, yeah, we don't, like, he doesn't actively go out of his way to hurt the people who live here. He just, you know, replace the cops with robots, which, like, you know, is it really that much better or is it that much worse? And to the rest of the world as well, again, it's like take people's opinion on Elon Musk. You know, that's the sort of variety you get with Cole Johnson as well.
Gotcha.
People who are like, no, he's the devil, and other people are like, he's a shrewd businessman. And the thing is that other like the people who like the groups around the world who know, like Cadence, does not trust him. He is high up on their threat, you know, ranking, because it's like, no, it's if we get anywhere near Industrial City, it's going to be a bad time. And they still, you know, do jobs there anyway, but they have to be like extra on the down low whenever they're in there, because he somehow knows, like he knew beforehand that Cadence operatives were being sent to Industrial City to find Ho Wu for Cataclysm.
Yeah.
So it's like director Holland didn't trust them. The directors Almasi did not trust him. And when Bonnie Black is director, she does not trust him. And again, like we said, he was like corporate rivals with Leazar Van Riel, who like she becomes Living Thorn and becomes like not leader, but a huge figure with the Order of Heroes. The Order of Heroes do not trust him, you know, so it's just like any like...
Can you imagine if they find out that he's the reason they exist?
They have their power, yeah, right?
He's like, I did you a favor.
Mm-hmm.
That actually reminds me of one of my questions I had, which was, you know, like the subject has been touched on a little bit, like on other episodes, but specifically with Cole Johnson, what was his thoughts on giving out the power rings, like to random people, and you know, like what was his goals with that?
Yeah. His thought process with that was like there are a handful of people that are like, no, these ones we have to give these folks power rings. Like he knew, it was like whoever he knew the powers that came with the power rings. Like he was able to be like, no, these are the ones that these should have, right? And so he very strategically was like, I need the one that makes me immune to the sapphire ring. And the thing is that Sarah gets the ruby ring, which lets her teleport. So he's like, she can always get out of danger whenever she needs to, right? And those were two that were like right off the bat. He was like, the sapphire ring, we need to be able to control that person very distinctly.
Yeah.
With that, a lot of the ones that were like up to chance of like, oh, these ones are kind of like, I don't know, we should probably make sure that we have a way to control whoever, you know, gets this ring, right? The first 7, he's like, he doesn't see those as a threat. Like Maurice, Andrew, all of them. He's like, these rings, they could, who's to say, right? But that was a random selection, and he tried to recruit as many of them as possible and only got one, which was Andrew, which is the one he really needed, turns out. After that, like, he's able to use Andrew and Sarah as these sort of pivot points to recruit the other people who end up getting the rings. There are some that sort of get out of his control, like the ones that the bandits end up stealing. And he was like, I wanted those to go to the rich people in the city so I could control them.
Yeah.
And it's ended up going to them instead. Dang it.
Was that before or after he betrayed them?
That was before.
Before, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, there's those ones. And then eventually he's like, cool, okay, for some of these ones, I don't like... we could use these, I'm sure, but they're much more valuable if they are random agents that are sort of out there causing chaos for various things. So that's where you get the ones that were just randomly scattered around the city, or other ones that he's like, yeah, we're selling these in our stores. So we know that someone who's going to buy these knows and trusts Gemstone Industries as a company.
Yeah. Okay. It's like, just like, oh, well, like, so what if someone's running around with electric powers?
Yeah.
You know? It's like,
we could probably recruit him. Oh, we didn't recruit him, guys.
oh, he's healing everybody. Dang it.
Dang it.
We didn't know that they could do that.
Yeah.
The other question I have, which I feel like might not be answered here, is, so how did Cole Johnson find out about Rondor?
That is a question I would like you to answer.
I think that one was Festus finding out about Gemstone, and I think that was like I think at the very least, like, it was like Festus finds out about Gemstone, and like there's probably just some like meet up and when Festus is like way younger, right? And he's like, oh, this Cole Johnson guy is someone I probably want to have on my side in the future.
Yeah.
And so once Festus becomes king, he's like, ooh, I finally have some leverage to make a deal with this guy that he can help me take control of Rondor. And so then Cole is like, oh, wow, okay, did a little bit of reading, found, a history book that talks about Rondor, and is like, oh, you know what? Yeah, sure. let me milk this relationship as long as I can.
It's interesting because at this point in the timeline, Rondor is not well known to the rest of the world, and a bit of a sneak peek into our next season. The next devised show that we are having is developing a story about the events that lead up to Rondor being sealed away from the rest of the world, which is in the 1600s. We're doing a fantasy story with this. And I just think it's very interesting because I think that we had a conversation one time of it's like, how does Cole Johnson find out about this teeny tiny European country that has been magically sealed away from the rest of the world? How is that going to work?
Right.
So I think it'll be interesting while we're developing this fantasy Rondor type show of maybe what does that magical barrier look like? And then we've also talked about the fact that magic and science are always at odds with each other within Reinvent. So I think that's an interesting thing to think about, that maybe with the scientific developments that are happening within the world, maybe that magical seal is waning a little bit. Is something I don't know. We haven't really talked about that part because it's it's gone. And it's well, this handful of people knows. And I'm like, okay, well, why these handful of people?
Yeah.
And we'll have a reason for it at some point. Don't rush me.
Trust, yeah.
Just trust the process.
Yeah.
Does Cole Johnson ever have his ring awakening?
No.
What do you think it would be? We're 3 episodes in a row of not having a ring awakening. But what do you think it would be if it happened?
I think to me the natural and this is genuinely just the same thing that Aurora gets, is that he can extend the range of his powers beyond just himself. That he can protect other people from,
like Bella Swan.
Yeah, let's compare Cole Johnson to Bella Swan.
They're basically the same character if you think
really
about
funny.
it.
Tell me more about how Bella Swan and Cole Johnson are the same character.
Well, also, there's vampires.
Go on.
And sisters exist, not with Bella, but sister-in-laws. So basically the same
there
thing.
we go.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
And they both fell in love with Robert Pattinson. We know this.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the natural extension derives from his wanting to protect Sarah. And so it would be cool, I will extend that sort of mind shield to someone else then.
Would there be a possibility of this? Because I don't know exactly how the ring powers interact with their host in terms of what they're doing to make it work. But if it has something to do with the mental side of things, what if he's able to block off other people's ring powers? With, I don't know. I'll just start spitballing stuff.
Just that is another interesting one, is if because there was a while where I was playing around with the idea. This is super early on in coming up with Dustry City ideas, of him also having this sort of different form of just skin turning to this cobalt form instead. So that could also be another one of having some sort of genuine shield that covers his body to protect him from any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Not just the mental powers.
For it to reawaken, it would definitely have to be something with his sister or niece, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe he'll get something really happy. That guy might just need a hug to turn things around. Yeah.
With a straitjacket.
Yeah. If this is the thing. It's all it probably would have taken is one more I love you, I'm proud of you from mom or dad. That's all it would take to trigger a ring awakening for him.
It's oh my goodness. Ben and I are watching
I know what she's about to reference.
watching the volleyball anime right
Watching,
now.
watching
okay.
Haikyuu.
And there's a point where like the second and third year boys like are like holding it together for a second, and then they immediately
Their manager, the team manager, who's usually like doesn't talk very much and is very like just reserved and introverted. It's right before their first big tournament, and she tells them, she's like, "You can do it." And then it's just this still shot of just these five characters just standing still. And then it cuts. I need to give like the full description. It cuts. She's like walking away then. And it cuts back to them. And it cuts to the first years. They're like, why are they? What's up with them? It cuts back to them again. Still the same frozen thing. And then, Abby, do you want to explain the lat?
they're standing there, and then their tear ducts just like explode
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, it's like,
They're like floating in midair.
it's so funny.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I get that though.
I googled "make you cry," and there's so many options for it.
I just like I can't imagine a like a sports anime like what that would. I'm sorry, I can't imagine what that would be. But I say that sounds fun. My friends showed me one that I'm pretty sure is a Gooner anime.
Oh, no.
I was like,
Oh,
it was like girls that had like. That were doing like a sport where they had to knock each other off like a thing with their butts.
I know the
and
one
they
you're
had
talking about,
powers based off of
Yeah, that is absolutely.
This is not a Gooner anime.
No.
I was trying to convince Monica to watch it because she was like, no, I have like
She's like something athletic. Yuck.
because like that's kind of how I've been too. I'm like, do I really want to watch like a volleyball one? Because I love watching volleyball. That was a sport that my mom tried to get me to play. Did not go well, obviously. But I've loved watching volleyball. But I was just like, how good can you make a volleyball anime?
Really good.
Turns out.
It's messed me up. It's really messed me up. Especially like there's been like little life things happening, and there are times where the Lord will provide the right anime episode at the right time for me, and it'll be like the art reflecting life whole thing. And there was a situation that happened last week. And then we watched this episode, and I was just like, man, it's about you gotta still trust yourself, and you gotta trust people too. And it's volleyball.
It's great. Genuinely, Andrew, there was in season 3 of the show, there is a 1-word line of dialogue that made me immediately start sobbing while I was cooking rice.
Dang it, I'm gonna have to watch this anime.
And this is one genuinely I will admit my like very regular person superpower is being able to like buy into a story so quickly.
Yeah.
And get invested into it almost immediately.
That's a great superpower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also, on the flip side, I am also willing to shut down a TV show very quickly as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I actually didn't like the point it's trying to make.
That had a negative impact on me, in fact.
Yeah.
So,
or to like block out things. There's been certain things. Like we didn't watch Demon Slayer for a long time because you had a weird aversion to it for some reason.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
You're like, ow.
I don't remember that now.
yeah, you weirdo. I'm sorry. I don't know. Is Demon Slayer the one? No, I think that's Hunter X Hunter or whatever.
That's
That
the
was
other
Demon
one
Slayers
that
with
like
the swords.
Hunter x Hunter is the other one that Ben and I have an aversion to, and we have no. Good
I don't
reason.
have an aversion to it. I just haven't gotten around to it
I
yet.
think it's because too many teenagers have told me to watch it.
It's
Like,
genuinely, for me, it's just my list of anime to watch is so long, and it just keeps getting longer.
I couldn't imagine.
But I mean, yeah, it gets longer, and then you know what we watch instead? Horimiya.
Was it?
Horimiya, the best romance anime of all time.
There's
So
zero
good.
chance I will ever watch a romance or a slice of
Dude.
life
Oh,
type.
so
anime.
Horimiya is like Ben and ours romance, but if it had happened in high school instead.
Like a lot of awkward side hugs or
Well, it goes away from so many tropes in anime, like the
It's not a slow burn is the thing.
yeah.
Anime loves a slow burn romance, and this is not one of those.
No, it just happens. And what I like about that is that the more openly soft character is the male character, and then the more abrasive and
The
emotional
premise,
character
the-
is the girl.
like the premise is that the characters all like there is their like public facing self, and then there's like private self, you know,
yeah.
and so it's like they find out what each other's like private selves are actually like, and they're like, oh, so you're not the person that I expected you to be based off of how you act at school. And then through their relationship and with their friends, all of them eventually get to a point where their private self is just their genuine all the time self.
Hold on. Wait a damn minute.
Oh.
You'll watch Love Island,
Yeah.
but you refuse to watch a slice of life or romance anime?
Love Island just gave us the greatest slow burn romance you'll ever see. Where it's like, because Brinity all the way, okay? Freaking.
Did they win?
Yeah, they did. I was like, Bryce and Trinity, that was like, I was like, oh, we're actually watching two people fall in love. This might look bad in the future if they break up.
Yeah.
But like, it was like, but no. It's like genuinely, it was like, because they're like, oh, like, there's an attraction, but like, you know, like we're still like really open to seeing other people and exploring stuff. And then it was like, she was like, ooh, I'm kind of just getting more of a friendship thing. And that made him be like, oh, I got to turn it up and show her that like I am really interested in her. And then from there, I was like, they're really starting to buy into each other. And right then, they get split apart because Casa Amor opens up and he goes to one place and she stays at the other, and they introduce a whole bunch of new people. And it's like, oh no, are they gonna like find someone else? And no, instead they both on camera cried for the other one, like while they were separated from each other.
Aww.
And that's how you knew it was real love. But I will
Nice.
never watch that romance anime. No.
How did we go from talking about an evil CEO
I don't know.
to Love Island versus romance anime?
It was. I made the joke that if Cole Johnson heard "I love you" or "I'm proud of you" from one of his
Yeah, that's right.
that
Yeah,
would be
yep.
a Spring Awakening.
Yep. Okay, now we're back on the trail. We're
Okay.
back on the trail. Okay. Don't
Anyway.
cut any of this. This is all important.
This is just like put a disclaimer. There is a 15-minute segment. It's like,
Okay, listen. If the first episode you're listening to of Lore Drop is episode 55,
You never know.
you never know. I mean, okay, welcome. Hey, if you're here, great. Thank you so much for being here. But it is crazy.
So this will be right after Cataclysm in the queue. So it'll just autoplay.
Oh no. Okay. I'm sorry. If this is your first time, genuinely, please keep listening to this stuff. But also, that's crazy.
Happy to have you.
This is your gateway episode.
I will say, I listened the first episode of the Drunk Tank podcast that I listened to forever ago. With Rooster Teeth was I think it was like episode like 37. You know, it was just a random one, and it wasn't good. Like I was like, why do people listen to this?
Man.
And luckily, I kept going. I listened to that for like 300 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, if you think this is bad, you should at least comment about it.
If you think this is bad, you can go frick yourself.
There we go.
What you should do?
Rule 3.
You
That's
should.
funny now.
You should. Listen, if you think this episode is bad, you should send it to someone who you think will also think it is bad, and make sure they listen to it up until this point, so they can give you a fully educated opinion on if they think it is bad, and then tell them to send it to other people who they think, and send it to their grandma too while they're at it.
And I get that because I listen to the podcast.
Thank you, Nathan, for our new running bit.
I have a work call. I got to take this real quick. Goodbye. I'm sorry. No, I'll be right back. I'm back, baby.
Nice.
I remember one time I took a call for work at rehearsal, and Abby was like, ooh, I hated that.
Listen, JD took a call today. He came up to visit me while I was painting before he had to drive to freaking Amarillo for his job. And he had to answer his work phone, and he was like, hello, this is Jared. And I fell on the floor.
Crazy.
You're like, yuck.
And I pretended to puke and fell on the floor. And when he hung up, he's like, I knew you were going to do that. And I was like, why wouldn't I do that? You answered the phone saying, hi, my name is Jared. He's going to get really mad at me when he listens to this episode.
Yeah.
I think that's a good segue into
I was also going to say, I got called out several times by my students during the school year. Anytime the principal would come up and start talking to me, they were like, whoa, that was a different Mr. Smith. I'm like, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I have to be so professional in front of that man.
That's not Mr. Smith with the pink hair. That's
corporate Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith is crazy. Before we wrap up today's episode, Andrew, do you want to give a shout out to anyone or anything?
God, I really should think of these things before.
You've just written a play.
Yes. I will say a shout out to the Spotlight Festival that Reinvent is doing for short plays. I have written one of the shows. It's called A Day in the Life, and it's about time loops. Ooh,
scary.
We love a good time travel thing and Reinvent. Everybody's really hyper focused on that right now. But yeah, Spotlight Volume 1, we're calling it Volume 1 because this is going to be a yearly part of our season. So it'll be Spotlight Volume 2 next year, Volume 3. Okay.
What about the year after that?
Volume 4.
Oh, interesting.
But we will skip Volumes 6 and 7.
I think you only just skip one of them.
We actually, at some point, we have to go back and do Volume 0, which is all prequels to Volume 1.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
No, we will not. I'm already having a hard enough time explaining to people what this is. Anyway, Spotlight Volume 1 is coming to Lubbock at Hollingsworth Hall Cultural Center September 10th through the 13th. Tickets should be up on our website now. They'll be up by the time I edit this episode. So you should grab your tickets for that. There are 8 new works that are going to be shown. So basically, you're spending like $2.75 per show to see 8 shows with your
pretty good deal.
What a value!
I mean, with how expensive everything is these days. The fact that you can see 8 shows for $2.75 a piece, I mean, this is a steal.
Yeah.
You know? We've got a lot of great new faces on and off stage for this project, so we're very excited to be bringing this to Lubbock in September. So make sure you get your tickets and share it with your friends. This is a great gateway into seeing the different kinds of storytelling we like to do with Reinvent.
Yeah. Extra thing, make sure you check the episode description for the link to our tournament bracket for our upcoming tournament episode of Lore Drop, and make sure you fill out your own bracket if you've got predictions and you want to see who you think will make it to the end, who the best fighter of Reinvent characters that we've got. This is called the All-Stars bracket.
It's not Cole Johnson.
What? I got my foam finger already for it.
Who is he paired up against in the first bracket?
It's someone that knocks him out immediately.
It's Booming Boxer.
Oh, well. He's like, I feel like he would like get in the ring and he's like, I'm good.
Yeah. So if you want to see what the rest of the round 1 matchups are, go look at the bracket.
Yeah. Fill it out. We'd love to see your guys' predictions with that. We're going to be recording that episode soon. It's going to be really fun to listen to. Probably going to be a little bit of a chaotic episode.
Oh yeah.
When you get me and Justin Crawl talking about fighting, it's going to be a bop. Our next episode of Lore Drop is our time capsule episode.
You're nailing it.
Our time capsule episode of season 1 of Cataclysm Children of Destiny with Monica Gomez, who would never treat me this way, ever. And that's why she's the best co-host on the podcast.
She is the best co-host on the podcast.
So be on the lookout for that episode. Thank you so much for listening to this one.
And remember,
Being fantastic starts with being a fan.
Being fantastic starts with being a fan.
I do want to point out you said every section of the Cataclysm title in the wrong order.
Gee, I wonder why I said it in the wrong order, Benjamin.
Reinvent Productions is proudly sponsored by 5 Points Corporation Lubbock and Savannah Rashida Photography, as well as our other wonderful community patrons. Our home base in Lubbock is Hollingsworth Hall Cultural Center at 4228 Boston Avenue. For more information on how to support our 501c3 organization, you can check out our website at www.reinvent-productions.com. To directly support our upcoming productions, you can become a Lore Drop sponsor. For just $10, you can sponsor an episode of this podcast. All donations will go towards support for our next production for this year's season. Funds will go towards paying production staff and our poster artists for their fantastic talent and time. We work to bring 5 new productions set within the world of Reinvent with every season, and your support goes a long way in making that happen. Our next production is Spotlight Volume 1, a Reinvent Short Play Festival, which will feature 8 brand new short plays all written by local writers in our community. You can donate at givebutter.com/Lore Drop sponsor. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at reinvent.productions, as well as on Facebook and Twitch, where we stream gaming and a look behind the scenes on how we create our new works. Be sure to follow us to stay in the loop about upcoming productions, auditions, and more. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode of Lore Drop.